Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. I've been known by a few names. So, I'm going to preface this with there's going to be some explicit language that is going to come out of my mouth. I'm going to give that warning. I'm going to try to minimize it, but in order to give a more adequate explanation as to what occurred, I'm going to give you that forewarning. I try to give warnings as best as I can. So that's the only warning I'm going to give you. So one day, I will say, I did write about this, but it was very fluffy compared to what occurred. Very fluffy. So, one day, after my now dead ex-husband, but then just ex-husband, had returned to San Antonio, Texas at Fort Sam Houston to be in Warrior Transition Unit. After that, and he had, a few times back at the house during the weekend, so that way he could spend time with my son and my daughter, although biologically his, nonetheless. He would hang out with certain individuals in the neighborhood. Now, one of my neighbors, her two daughters, hung out with my son and my daughter. They play in the cul-de-sac, that sort of stuff. There wound up being some issues during the first separation before the final separation that my now dead ex-husband caused problems for, because he lied a whole bunch when he was alive. That's just how he was. So after the final separation, after he went overseas, all that sort of stuff, and after essentially returning and all that, my son and my daughter were invited to one of my neighbor's daughter's birthday parties. And it was at Pump It Up, which on Huebner and Bandera, near the Peter Piper Pizza, I think, or somewhere in that vicinity. And this particular situation is going to give you a very quick but good insight into how my now dead ex-husband was when he was alive during any time that there was an actual problem. How you will get a view in regards to how he saw me, despite the fact that at that point it was of the final separation. Nonetheless, at the same time, this example is how he viewed any time I actually got upset and I actually stood up, no matter what was going on, to how especially with the reactions. So, during the birthday party, my son and my daughter were playing. My now dead ex-husband, he wanted to stay at the party and hang out with certain individuals. And I was like, all right, well, make sure James and Lydia are taken care of, and, let me know. So my now ex-boyfriend, the male, also Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., that guy that my now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband, had arranged that aspect. We went and ran some errands and then came back to Pump It Up. And I, of course, as quickly as I can, go over to my son and my daughter. I start checking on them, see what's going on, speaking with the other parents, hanging out, stuff like that. Have no idea where my then just ex-husband went. Had no idea where he went, like, at all. And it was one of those, don't have to be around you, okay? Not a problem. Anyway, so my daughter ran over to where the chair was with the throne, the blow-up thingamabob, because those who know Pump It Up know that there's the blow-up different things. And she sat down in the chair, and this little younger millennial teenager in high school or about to go into college walks over to the area, picks up very few things. Just, obviously, you could tell she worked there, not just because of the shirt and the name tag, but also because she was picking up certain things. She didn't do a very good job. Personal opinion, she was being very lazy when it came to picking up certain things. And then she walks over, looks and sees that my daughter is sitting in the chair, and then hits the switch for the thing that inflated it to deflate. My daughter got knocked off of the chair, fell down. Of course, as a mom, good mom, I ran over, picked her up, started, doing what I could to help her and stuff like that. The little teeny bopper teenager, whatever she was, literally went, and walked out. So, doing what I could to remain calm, taking care of my daughter who was crying, mind you, the chair was about this high where she fell from, like the part where she was sitting to be knocked down. So that's about 2.5, 3 feet right there that she fell. And she was like in preschool or kindergarten at that time. Just going to throw that out there. So, can we get some ice? Some ice, make sure she's okay. I start, I look at her and it's like, follow my finger, let me see, okay, no problem. Where does it hurt? I start asking these, typical first responder type questions, okay, follow my finger, why don't you go up, don't move your head with it, just, down and sort of stuff like that. And I, checking things, say, what is your name, when is your birthday, these standard aspects of, first response sort of stuff. So the mom of the birthday girl, whose party it was, she got a bag of ice, gave it to me, and I go and, take care of my daughter, start doing what I need to do, and all that stuff. My son is watching, and he's just like, oh my God, Mom, what are you doing? Well, I'm just taking care of your sister, that's all. It just is what it is. I'm just taking care of stuff. And so, I'm doing what I can, making sure everything's okay. My daughter stops crying. She's okay. There's no problems, no long-term damage, nothing like that. She's good to go. Then, once my daughter was squared away, where is that female? And at that point, the mom of whose birthday party it was goes, she went that way. Like, I know. I'm going to go find that little girl. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. So I'm as calm as humanly possible at that time. I just walk. My now dead ex-husband, but then ex-husband, was walking with my now ex-boyfriend, Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., and they were going the opposite way. The two of them were talking and walking. And so she went this way. Where's she at? My now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband, sees me, looks to Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., and says, I'm not married to her anymore, you gotta deal with that. And so, Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., runs up to me. He's like, are you upset? Leave me alone. I got stuff to handle. And well, you know, like, you look upset. Yes, I am. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. You don't want to see what's going to happen. And he was just like, you literally asked me, are you upset? You look upset. Yeah, kind of. Shut up and leave me alone. Like, get away from me. And he just, well, you know, what can I do to help? Get away from me. That's how you could help. Get away from me. Don't bother me. Don't be a part of this. You are not gonna know. So then I see she had like dyed auburn red hair, longer down almost to the center of her back, but she was wearing pigtails. She had glasses. She was flirting with the boy. And I walk in the room where she's at and I go, you! And both of them go from to, and the guy literally pushes her forward. Like, she wants to speak with you. Not me. She wants to talk with you, so. Ooh, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go clean the table, cause she looks mad. Get away from me. I'm cleaning the table. Ma'am, I see nothing. And she walks over and she had the nerve to have an attitude. She goes, ugh, what? Get over here, little girl. And she just, who do you think you are? I am a mother who is going to put you in your place. You don't know. And she just, you don't need to snap. It's better I do that than what I want to do to you. Let me tell you, you best believe. Pay attention. And little girl starts twirling her little, pigtails, and she goes, well, like, I don't know. I was like, little girl, you might want to put your hands down because you don't want me to take that as a threat. Okay? Because you don't want to know what I could do with your little pigtails in your head. Just put your hands down. Don't have them above your shoulders. Okay? That's safe for you. And then she had the nerve. Not only did she have the nerve to say this, but she was seriously, like, are you mad at me? Look over to the male who, you know what, I'm gonna go clean this table all the way over here. Like, I'm gonna go to the furthest table away. I don't see anything. I don't hear nothing. Nope, just cleaning. I'm not gonna look. Nope. Don't step back towards me. Nope. I am cleaning. I don't see nothing. She looks mad. I don't even need to look at that. I'm just gonna clean. But I'm gonna record that because, like, she sucks for that girl. And so, oh, girl wants to throw a little attitude and just, well, what are you mad at, ma'am? Little girl. You turned off the chair when my daughter was in it. And she just, so? She fell to the floor and bumped her head like, hello, did you see her there? Yeah, so? So you saw my daughter. You saw my daughter sitting in the chair. Yeah, not the time to get an attitude with me, little girl. Not the time to be getting an attitude with me. I'm just saying. Like, I'm doing what I can to be calm. But you want to go and run your mouth. You want to roll your eyes at me. Girl, you don't know. You don't know. You literally just went and admitted you saw my daughter sitting in that chair. And her response was, yeah, so what? I mean, the blow-up thing just knocked her out of it. I mean, so what? I want to speak with your manager. Where's your manager? I want to speak with your manager right now. And then little girl said, I got the manager wrapped around my little finger. I'll get him to do whatever I want. Little girl, not if he wants to keep his soul. I guarantee you. Go get him. Right now. Fine. You got long hair. You got long hair. Not that that matters for someone like me. That just makes certain things easier than it already is easy to do to you. Just gonna throw that out there. Little girl says, is that a threat? No. I'm just giving you a warning that you might want to get rid of that attitude because you don't want me to handle things the way I know how to handle things. It's going to be better for you, so much better for you, if you just not have that attitude. Go get your manager. Now. Boy, I see nothing. I'm just going to clean. I can't. I think I see, because I'm at the furthest table, I think I see a spot right there. Like right there. I'm going to get this table so clean. This table will never be as clean it is by the time I'm done. Never going to be this clean. I'm going to get so clean. I'm going to get so clean. So, little girl, it's funny that the weather is picking up right now. And so, little girl goes and gets her manager. Her manager comes to where I am, and he, yep. And he goes, so she told me you're upset. Do I look upset? Yes, you do. Where's your office? In the front. Let's go talk. Okay. So I go up to her, I'm like, lead the way. Little girl stands there. Yeah. What, you think you hard because you work at a child's place? Little girl, I have so many hopes for you right now. And I just walked away. And she just kind of went, what? I have so many hopes in my thoughts just for you. Little girl. You better hope your manager is able to fix things. Because if he doesn't get me to be happy, I'm going to keep on hoping. You don't want that for you. Okay? So I walk with the manager to the front. At that point, my now dead ex-husband, then just ex-husband, is standing there and he's like, oh, are you done with what is going on yet? keep calm. We'll keep calm. I have to deal with you later, and I will. Now, mind you, my headache level pain was astronomical. Astronomical. And the migraine levels were starting to go from like a 3-4, which for my scale is what it is. But like in a way, a 3-4 to like a 7. And so, get in the manager's office and he's like, how do I make this up to you? You could start by firing her and never allowing her to ever work with children. That'd be a start. That'd be a start. And then, making her apologize to my daughter, apologize to the people at that party, refunding them their money for the party because of this, making sure that, and I listed a whole bunch of stuff. And the guy was just, well, I could give you 2 free passes to come back. Do you think I would trust my son and my daughter with you and what you got going on here? I wouldn't trust anybody's children to be in this location because of what you got going on. You've got irresponsible little teenagers that don't want to pay attention. Did your little girl admit that she saw my daughter in the chair? And he said, yeah. I said, are you going to fire her? And he said, well, no, other than that, she's a good employee. Oh. So she acknowledged to you that she saw my daughter sitting in that chair. Has she ever done that before? Has there ever been anybody before my daughter who has had that happen at your Pump It Up location? And well, a couple of times. Okay. Was little girl working those particular parties? I can't tell you that. Then maybe you should think about that. Just saying. I've dealt and I'm dealing with the after effects of my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. My daughter is clear because I know how to make sure of certain things for my children as best as I can. My daughter's not going to have health issues because of that. But you best reevaluate your business and little girl. And well, she's not a little girl. Not with that attitude. I don't view her as anything more than a little toddler who needs to be put in timeout. And the guy just, well, that's kind of hard. Motherfucker, you don't know. And when I said that, he was like, well, and I was like, yeah, so, calling her a little girl is better than what the rest of that sentence, a lot longer than that, could be, right? And he goes, yeah, where are you from? I was born and raised in New Jersey before my head injury in the military on Palm Sunday in 2000. So, that little snippet is not really that mean if you really think about it. No, it's not. All right, so it's better I call her little girl, right? Yeah, it's better. Okay, don't ever tell me how to speak again. Okay? That won't go well. Irony of that coinky dink with a little bit of thunder, right? It's raining right now. It is 1:42 p.m. or 13:42 in the state of Texas. On the 12th of May, 2020. It's just a coincidence. So anyway, and then walk out of the office. It's just, oh, no. And the mom who had the birthday party for her daughter, she's like, Susan, I'm really sorry. It is not your fault. I do not blame. I appreciate your apology. It is not your fault. It was that little girl's choice. And little girl was still in the hallway like, aren't you intimidated by me standing here? And it's like, so that little girl is who I blame. That little girl. And the whole time she went from like the whole like, aren't you to was she not intimidated? She keep calling little girl. And then, you know, she's it's like, and that little, and that little, and that little, and that little. And the mom was just, I very much understand. I'm so glad that you are not mad at me. No. Did you know that little was going to do that? No. So it's all good. Between us, we're cool. We're cool. That little, whole other ball of wax. And by that point, before actually walking out, little girl, starts crying. It's like, please, do not start shedding a tear. Please, little girl. Please. Let me think about this. Your little fake tears or my daughter's tears? I'm going to go with my daughter's tears, meaning a whole bunch more to me than your little fake tears trying to, like, pretend you're sympathetic when you're not. And this is literally how she said this. How do you know if I'm faking my being upset? Because, little girl, if you were actually upset by what I had to say, I guarantee you would not be able to, like, not mess up your makeup at all. Just saying. Then she said, I'm not wearing makeup. Oh, well then, why are you fake crying as if it would mess up your makeup? And instantly she had no more tears. She had no more tears. She was, what do you mean? That's what I mean. Yeah. You should be so thankful I'm calm. Don't ever test that. And she said, the little girl, she goes, I mean, how angry could someone like you get? At that point, the mom of who was having the birthday party for her daughter goes, come on, girls, let's go out to the car. Miss Susan has some stuff she gonna take care of. Let's go. James and Lydia, why don't you come with me? Because your mom has some stuff she's gonna take care of. Let's go. Let's go out to the car. It's like, thank you. Oh, girl. And then the only example that I can give is the equivalent of Leah from Crystal Lake South after I had thrown the table because she had slapped my friend Kenny, and I just got really, really close to little girl's face, and I spoke very softly. And I informed her of a few things and just let her know that in a shortened way, she should not go any further than that. However, since, I had to fill out forms for my children to go there, did a little teenage little girl have access to that? Nonetheless, little girl, and I had a very, very, very silently quiet, like nobody could hear, except for her, the words that were coming out of my mouth. And her eyes just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I actually saw tears that were genuine. And then I was like, okay, so do you understand why you don't want to see me angry? You caused my daughter to be in pain. My son saw my daughter, his sister, cry. My children. So, little girl, don't do that again. Learn from your mistakes instead. And be glad that I'm calm, because you might not be so lucky the next person you attempt to give that attitude to might not have a calm mom. Might not. So I walk out to the parking lot. My now dead ex-husband, but then ex-husband, along with Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., my now ex-boyfriend, talking with the mom with the two daughters, and then my son and my daughter just in the parking lot, just hanging out, like, yeah, we're just gonna wait until, make sure everything's okay. Whole time, my now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband, is just like, oh, are you done yet? I mean, did you have to be so just out there about everything? Do you even know what happened? And he looked at me and said, no, but you're you, so you were probably upset about something. Yeah. James and Lydia, you guys okay? Yes, Mom. Okay, give me a hug. Okay, do you good? Let me do, Mom. Yeah, okay. Get in the car. Speak with the mom for a little bit longer, and then like, okay, I'll see you back. And yeah, you have a good one. Go and drive back to the house, my house in San Antonio. Get in the driveway, get the kids inside. I get my son and my daughter, showered and cleaned up. Check my daughter a few more times, make sure she's okay. Get them into bed, taking care of all that stuff. Go downstairs. Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., is speaking with my now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband, and the two of them are like, so, what was that about? And I was only on the platform at that point. It's like, walk down the last few stairs, and I'm like, so, this is what happened. Finished explaining in brief, and then walked around to my patio door, walked outside, lit up a cigarette, and 3, 2, and then they started yelling. And it was one of those, well, I think I was calm, but, apparently, according to that, was whatever. We'll just hope a little bit right now. For that little girl. And all of her little associates. Just gonna do some hoping. And smoke. A little upset. Just slightly a little bit upset. Then, about 20 minutes later, my now dead ex-husband and now ex-boyfriend Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., also known as Cactus Jack, go outside where I'm at. Yes. And they're, why are you so calm? What? Weren't you complaining about how upset I was? I am confused at this point in time. So it literally wasn't till like an hour and a half after getting back to the house that then there was the, why are you upset? Like, going from the, oh, you just need to calm down. It's like, maybe if I give a warning, you should pay attention. Don't usually, and I know that a lot of times, like, sometimes my warnings are a little overbearing. I get that. And, you know, like, for example, I thought I would allow myself to fully go into all of the expletive words, but then I remembered that the majority of those expletive words were whispered face to face with a little girl. So, there's that. And so, though there are people from New Jersey who understand, and military who understand, and any mom or dad who cares about their children, who understands the equivalent of the words that were utilized, or could have minimum guess. Minimum. And so, in a little nutshell, that gives a ideal insight in a very minimal way in just one situation of how that was in that regard. And Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., took my now dead ex-husband, then just ex-husband's side, and only got angry after my now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband got upset because he was told to get upset. Not through thinking on his own, not through any internal understandings or anything, just only because of that. And so I did send an email to the corporate office. I did, and let them know. I did not receive a response. I did not. Hopefully, at minimum, they did a reevaluation and had checked to see what I was talking about. So that way, you know, that sort of stuff. So, because as I said, not just in this video reference, but even back then at the manager's office, as well as later on when I had discussed this situation with other parents and let them know, so that way they could, you know, at least have a bigger ability to have more awareness in certain regards. So that way they didn't have to have that situation, because again, I did not believe that my daughter was the only one. The manager himself had admitted that it had occurred to other children, as far as my daughter. So, if the only way for me to ensure, because I was not taking the little free passes to take my children back there, I wasn't going to just idly stay by and be like, yeah, no big deal, when it was, realistically. And so, yes, children need to be able to run around, have fun, do all sorts of stuff. I get it. I do. I had 2 children that, you know, I was taking care of them, all that sort of stuff. Nonetheless, if certain things like that, it's one of those, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, in my opinion. And so I'd let other people know. And I didn't sign any non-disclosure agreement. So again, I didn't have to not speak about it. At all. And if other parents became more aware, good. Good. So, there you go. You guys have it going, but see how calm I was by technicalities? How many parents would have flown off the handle right then and there? Instead, I was doing everything I could, make sure, and that's not just parents, by the way. You don't want to see a mad grandma. You don't want to see a mad grandpa. You think that a mad mom is like, woo, you know what? I'm just saying, little girl didn't know. Just saying, not the only thing. Just saying, she didn't deal with a mad dad, obviously, in that regard, but she dealt with him. And I was calm. I was so calm. I really was. I did, you know, like, how many times I have been told, oh, you're over, and realistically was so calm. So calm, comparatively to what could have been. That being said, you guys have a good one.